We are speaking with Dr. Shiva, who is running for U.S. Senate for the seat currently occupied by Liz Warren in the Republican primary. I think it's going to be a fascinating primary because you have some other decent people who are looking at running for the race. Who's supporting you? Any big names?
Well, Curt Schilling, as you know, came out and supported me.
And Curt Schilling is the former Red Sox
baseball player,
and who was looking at the race himself.
Yeah. Kurt. Kurt's very well known. He's a great baseball player, and Kurt's actually extremely bright. He reads a lot of history and politics. He understands what's going on. He understands that Elizabeth Warren wants to rig the system. He also has a deep understanding of the fact that we need systems on left and right that are based on meritocracy. It's fascinating. We just got essentially an endorsement from the Lowell Sun, local newspaper.
Oh, great.
What I find interesting is that overnight, how some people can get in the Boston Globe and the Boston Herald and Channel 7 News, like one of our guys who's said he's going to explore running against Liz Warren. And I find that, frankly, another form of corruption. The fact that insiders, even within the Republican Party, can make a few phone calls and they get on major mass media, I think that's actually inappropriate. And I think that, too, also should be condemned, and it's a different form of corruption. Because mainstream media, if you look at mainstream media and you look at establishment, the politicos, they actually want to control who, in fact, the opposition is.
Yes.
Right? So I find this that, this should also be countered. In many ways, my running is a very different kind of run because I'm a scientist, I'm an entrepreneur, I've had to run businesses. I don't need to do this, right? I don't need my next political job. I'm doing this because I think we need a 21st century senator. Because fundamentally, if you look at Massachusetts, you need to understand science. You need to understand engineering. You need to understand what's going on with working people. You need someone who's actually done stuff.
And that's to understand our economy, right?
Exactly. You can't, even Einstein said something fascinating. He said that when you get away from the actual work, farther and farther away from doing the actual work, you lose greater and greater understanding of what's really going on. I have no idea why we give politicians and celebrities so much, even any level of this much recognition.
Or credit.
Right. Because what are they actually doing? They are basically in there within a system to keep getting elected. And I think we're at a point in human history now. Massachusetts, think about it, this is where the American Revolution was ignited.
Right.
The founding fathers who started the American Revolution weren't politicians. They were actually architects, inventors, scientists, engineers, people who made stuff, manufacturers.
Sure, they put the patent system in place as part of the Constitution, which shows really who they were.
Exactly. And it's a very interesting point you make here. So if you don't understand how goods and services are made and delivered, you don't even understand how to craft legal policy. Getting back to the email thing was fascinating. It was in 1978 when I invented email.
At the age of
14, there was no mechanism to protect software. The policymakers in Washington thought software was sheet music.
Really?
Okay, so it's only in 1980 did they allow you to use a Copyright Act of 1976, which they amended to become the Software Act of 1980, so through copyright. And I did copyright my software legally to recognize the inventor of email. But it was only 15 years later when the Federal Court of Appeals recognized that software was really a digital machine. And then you could patent it. So the point is, in the 21st century, we need people who actually are everyday people who create, make things, deliver goods and services in Congress. We really need to get rid of these people who think they can go from being a lawyer to being an academic and then going and running for office. That whole process needs to be completely broken.